Have you ever felt trapped in a never-ending cycle of pain with a narcissist? They enter your life like a dream, charming, perfect, making you believe you've found something truly special, but little by little they manipulate, control, and drain you, leaving you confused, exhausted, and questioning everything. You pray, you cry, and you ask, God, are you listening? Why are you letting me go through this? Listen closely. God is not silent. He has not abandoned you. He is already at work. But, unlike humans, God doesn't react impulsively. He moves with strategy, with power, and with divine precision, setting you free in ways you never expected. In today's video, we're uncovering 7 ways God acts when a narcissist uses and abuses you. This isn't just about surviving. It's about deliverance, justice, and victory. God isn't just pulling you out of the narcissist's grip. He's breaking toxic cycles, restoring what was stolen, and transforming you into a warrior stronger than ever before. If you've ever felt stuck, if you've ever doubted your worth, if you've ever thought there was no way out, trust me, this video is for you. Because God isn't just leading you out of the darkness, He is bringing you into a life more powerful than you ever imagined. Are you ready to break free from the narcissist's chains and step into the incredible plan God has for you? Let's dive in right now. 1. God launches a divine strike to break the narcissist's control. When a narcissist enters your life, they don't come as a villain. They come as a dream. Charming, kind, saying all the right things, making you believe you found something truly special, but don't be fooled. It's all part of their strategy. Little by little, they weave an invisible web of control, slowly stripping you of your identity. And by the time you realize it, you're trapped in a cycle of manipulation and pain. But here's what you need to know. God will not let this go on forever. When the time is right, He steps in, not just to rescue you, but to completely break the narcissist's hold over you. God's first move is not a gentle tug. It is a divine strike, a powerful blow that shakes the very foundation the narcissist has built around you. Suddenly, the things you once blindly trusted begin to crumble. Their lies no longer have the same grip. You start to see the truth that was hidden from you for so long. When God moves, things start shifting. It may feel like your world is falling apart. Relationships unravel, secrets come to light, painful realizations hit. But don't be afraid. This is not punishment. This is rescue. God is tearing down the invisible chains that have kept you captive. And as the narcissist loses their power over you, God doesn't leave you in a void. He equips you with clarity, strength, and courage, so that you will never fall into deception again. You are no longer a victim. You are stepping into victory. Are you feeling like your life is turning upside down? Are you seeing things shift unexpectedly in ways you can't explain? Maybe this isn't chaos. It's God at work, setting you free. Trust His plan, because a life of freedom and brilliance awaits you. 2. God declares judgment and brings down the narcissist. Narcissists believe they can manipulate, exploit, and destroy others without facing any consequences. They live under the illusion that they can deceive, control, and harm without ever being held accountable. But they forget one crucial truth. God sees everything. God doesn't just rescue you from the narcissist. He declares judgment upon them. When the time comes, God lifts the veil, exposing every lie, every scheme, and every hidden agenda. What they once concealed, what they thought they could get away with, it will all come to light. You may have believed that the narcissist would escape justice, that they would continue living their so-called perfect life while you suffered. But don't be deceived. God does not overlook injustice. He does not allow manipulators to win forever. When God's judgment falls, He doesn't just strip them of their power. He dismantles everything they built on deceit. You will begin to witness divine shifts. People who once trusted the narcissist will turn away from them. They will no longer be able to hide behind their false persona. Doors that once opened for them will now close. Opportunities they once took for granted will vanish. And as they scramble to regain control, they will realize that everything is slipping through their fingers. But here's the most important truth. God's judgment isn't just about punishing the narcissist, it's about restoring you. When God moves in justice, it's not merely to bring down the wicked, but to lift you up and place you in a position of safety, peace, and renewal. Remember, God's judgment is not about revenge, it's about protection. When you see those who harmed you being brought low, do not let bitterness take root in your heart. This is not your victory, it is God's victory. He is shielding you, freeing you, and paving the way for the bright future He has prepared for you. If you've ever felt wronged, if you've ever wondered if justice would ever come, know this: God always delivers justice, and when He acts, nothing can stand in His way. 3. God breaks generational curses and toxic cycles. Have you ever wondered, why do I keep falling into toxic relationships? Why do manipulative, deceitful, and controlling people seem to keep finding their way into my life? Is it just bad luck, or is there something deeper at play? Let me share a powerful truth with you. What you're facing is not just a personal attack. It may be a toxic cycle that has existed in your life for generations. The pain you're experiencing may not have started with you. It may be the result of patterns that have repeated in your family for years, even decades. Some families have been trapped in cycles of abuse, manipulation, and emotional damage for generations. Parents who were controlled and mistreated passed down their wounds to their children, who then unknowingly continue the same patterns in their own relationships. These cycles keep repeating until someone decides to break them. And here's the good news: God doesn't just rescue you from a narcissist, He breaks the cycle completely. God doesn't just set you free, He sets future generations free. When God moves, He shatters the invisible chains that have held you captive for years, maybe even your entire life. He not only pulls you out of the toxic relationship you're in now, but He also heals the wounds that made you vulnerable in the first place. He gives you clarity to recognize unhealthy patterns, strength to say no to toxicity, and the courage to step into a new chapter, a chapter of true freedom. This process may not be easy. When God starts breaking old chains, you may feel like your life is in chaos. The people who once had control over you may start to distance themselves. Unhealthy relationships may begin to fall apart. The beliefs you once held may start to be challenged. You may feel lost, hurt, or even scared. But make no mistake, this is not destruction. This is deliverance. When God moves, He makes the unseen visible. You may start recalling memories from childhood, moments of pain you had buried deep within. You may suddenly recognize that what you thought was normal was actually unhealthy. And once you see the truth, you can never unsee it. And here's the most incredible part: you could be the first in your family to break this cycle. You could be the one who stands up and says, "I will no longer allow manipulation and abuse to define my life. I will not pass this down to my children. I will be the one God uses to bring freedom to my family." Imagine a new generation. A generation no longer trapped in fear, no longer accepting manipulation as normal. Imagine your children growing up with confidence, with peace, with the kind of love you may have never experienced. And imagine that every bit of suffering you've endured was not in vain. It was the turning point for God to do something miraculous. So if you feel like you've been stuck in a never-ending cycle, know this: God is at work. He is not just setting you free, He is rewriting the story of your family. What was once a generational curse is about to become a generational testimony. A testimony of God's power to transform pain into victory, wounds into healing, and a broken past into a glorious future. You are not bound by what came before you. You are not a prisoner to past generations. You are the one God has chosen to open the door to something new. 4. God equips you as a spiritual warrior. After being manipulated and broken by a narcissist, you may feel drained, empty, and even disconnected from who you once were. Their lies made you doubt your worth. Their control convinced you that you were weak, that you needed them to survive. But what is the truth? The truth is, you are not weak, and you were never meant to be a victim forever. God doesn't just rescue you from the narcissist. He transforms you into a mighty warrior, able to stand strong against any attack in the future. Imagine a soldier. They are not just pulled out of danger. They are trained, armed, and prepared to face any battle ahead. And that is exactly what God is doing for you. He is refining you in the fire, strengthening your soul so that you will never again be easily broken. First, God does something incredibly important. He heals your heart. He knows the narcissist has stolen so much from you, your self-worth, your confidence, even your voice. But listen to me. God is restoring everything that was taken from you. He is changing the way you see yourself. You are no longer the person who trembles at their threats. You are no longer the one who feels like you're not enough. You are no longer a victim. Instead, you are a strong, chosen individual, handpicked by God to step into a new future, one that is no longer controlled by fear. God will help you recognize your true worth. No one can define you except Him. No manipulator has the right to control you. You are a child of God, and that means you have the right to stand up, strong and confident. God doesn't just heal. He equips you with the tools you need so that you never fall into the same trap again. He gives you discernment, the ability to recognize the signs of manipulation from the very beginning. You will no longer be mesmerized by empty words. You will no longer be deceived by subtle control tactics. He also grants you wisdom to see the truth behind the lies. Where you once felt confused and lost, you will now have clarity. You will know who is truly for you and who only seeks to use you. Most importantly, God gives you confidence and spiritual strength, so that you never have to bow to a narcissist again. You will no longer be that trembling person you once were. When the narcissist tries to come back, attempting to trap you once again, you will not fall under their control. You will see them clearly, and this time you will be the one in control. But here's the most incredible part. God doesn't just equip you to protect yourself. He prepares you to help others. Everything you have been through was not in vain. The tears, the lonely nights, the desperate prayers. God has heard them all. And now He is turning all of that pain into power so that you can rise up and become a light for others who are still trapped. Imagine someone out there feeling hopeless, unsure of how to escape a toxic relationship, and then they see you. Someone who has been where they are, but who has now emerged stronger, freer, and more powerful than ever. You will be living proof of God's deliverance. You will be the beacon of hope they need to believe that there is a way out. God doesn't just want you to survive. He wants you to thrive. He doesn't just pull you out of the pit. He places you on solid ground where you can walk with confidence, strength, and courage like never before. If you feel like you've lost too much, remember, God is preparing you for something greater. He isn't just setting you free. He is training you to become a spiritual warrior, someone who will never be defeated again, someone who knows their worth and will never allow anyone to take it away again. You are no longer a victim, you are a warrior, and God is calling you to step into your new identity. 5. God reverses the enemy's plans and turns them into your victory. When you have endured the manipulation, betrayal, and pain of a narcissist, it may feel like they have stolen a part of your life, your joy, your peace, even your identity. They used deception to hold you down, to make you doubt yourself, and to convince you that you could never survive without them. But here's what the narcissist doesn't realize. They may have had a plan to destroy you, but God has a plan to restore you. God doesn't just set you free. He completely reverses what the enemy meant for harm and turns it into a blessing. When God overturns the enemy's plans, nothing can stop him. The narcissist may think they have won. They may believe they have broken you. They assume you will be stuck in the pain they caused forever. But God has something different in mind. He will use the very pain they inflicted to take you to a new level of strength, clarity, and victory. When God reverses a situation, He doesn't just restore what was lost. He gives you even more. You don't just step out of the darkness, you emerge stronger, wiser, and more protected than ever before. What was once a source of pain now becomes your strength. The lessons you learned in suffering now equip you with discernment. What once hurt you now serves as a powerful testimony of God's power. God doesn't just restore, He elevates you to a new level. When God moves, He doesn't just bring you back to where you were before the narcissist harmed you. He takes you higher, further, and stronger than you've ever been. You will see this in many ways. New opportunities will arise where you once felt blocked. Doors will open where there were once barriers placed in front of you. Healthy relationships will emerge to replace the toxic connections you were trapped in. God doesn't just restore your life. He makes it better than ever before. The enemy wanted to silence you, but God will use you as a voice of truth. One of the things a narcissist fears most is you finding your voice. They tried to crush you, to make you afraid, and to keep you silent. But now God is raising you up to be a voice of truth, to help others, and to spread healing. What the enemy meant to destroy you has now become a powerful testimony of God's faithfulness. As you step into this new chapter of your life, you will look back and realize the enemy may have had a plan, but God's plan was greater. So if you feel like you have lost too much, if you feel like a narcissist has stolen your life, remember this: God doesn't just rescue you. He overturns every plan against you and turns it into a glorious victory. You are not just a survivor, you are victorious, and nothing can stop what God has planned for you. 6. God opens new doors and leads you into a blessed future. After escaping the grip of a narcissist, you may feel like you're standing at a crossroads. Everything you once knew has collapsed, and you might wonder, now what? Where do I go from here? Can I really start over? Let me tell you this: God doesn't just free you, He has already prepared a new path, a future filled with blessings just for you. When God delivers you from a toxic situation, He does not leave you stranded in emptiness. He doesn't just close toxic doors. He opens new ones, leading you into a better, richer, and more abundant life. What you lost, God will replace with something better. You may think you've lost too much: time, opportunities, relationships, even yourself. But remember this: God never takes something away without having a greater plan to give you something better. He will bring new opportunities you never imagined. He will place people in your life who truly love, support, and uplift you. He will open doors that you couldn't see before because you were still trapped in darkness. When you allow God to guide you, you will realize that the future ahead is far better than anything you left behind. God is not just freeing you from the past, He is preparing you for something greater. This journey is not just about leaving a toxic relationship, it's about total transformation. God doesn't just want you to live an average life. He wants you to step into the fullness of His divine purpose for you. You are no longer the same person. You have changed. You have learned lessons that the narcissist could never take away. You have walked through darkness, and now God is leading you into the light. Believe that you are moving toward a life of true peace, healthy relationships, and a freedom you never thought possible. When God opens a door, no one can shut it. Maybe the narcissist did everything they could to hold you back. They wanted you to believe that you couldn't survive without them. They made you think you would never succeed, that you weren't good enough, that you would always be trapped in pain. But remember this: they do not have the power to define your future. God does. God has opened new doors for you, doors that no one can close. When He decides to elevate you, nothing can stop it. These doors may come in many forms: a new opportunity in your career or personal goals, new relationships filled with love and support, free from manipulation and control, a new vision of yourself where you fully see your true worth. When God makes a way, you are no longer a victim of your past. You are someone stepping into a glorious future. You are not stuck. You are being guided to where you truly belong. Look forward with hope. You are not trapped in the past. God has mapped out a new path for you, a life full of joy, peace, and purpose. So, don't look back with regret. Let God lead you into a new chapter, not just of healing, but of victory. God doesn't just want you to forget the pain. He wants you to live fully, abundantly, and more radiantly than ever before. Are you ready to step through the new doors God has opened for you? 7. God gives you a new purpose and turns your pain into a mission. After breaking free from a narcissist's control, you may feel empty. You lived under manipulation and control for so long that now, in your newfound freedom, you ask yourself, who am I without this pain? What do I do with everything I've been through? But listen to me. God didn't just bring you out of darkness. He has a greater plan for your life. You weren't just saved to live an ordinary life. God wants to take your suffering and turn it into purpose, into a mission, into a source of strength that helps others. God does not let your pain go to waste. You may have asked, why did God allow me to go through this? You may have felt betrayed, hurt, and struggled to understand why a loving God would let you suffer so much. But here's the truth. God never wastes your pain. Everything you went through had a purpose. The tears you cried, the lonely nights, the desperate prayers. God saw it all, and He is using every single moment to build something greater for you. The wounds you once had will now become a testimony that helps others find freedom. The lessons you learned in your suffering will now become a guiding light for those still trapped in darkness. You are not just a survivor, you are a person with a mission. God is calling you to use your story to help others. You know what it feels like to be trapped in a toxic relationship. You understand the pain of being manipulated, used, and losing yourself. But now you are on the other side. You have found freedom, healing, and strength you never knew you had. So think about all the people out there, those who are still trapped, still crying in silence, still praying and wondering if there is a way out. God wants to use you to be their answer. Maybe you'll help them through your words, through your experience. Maybe God will call you to be a mentor, a guide, a source of comfort to those in pain. But whatever it is, trust that you are not useless, and what you've been through has a divine purpose. God is writing a new chapter for you. How? You are no longer stuck in the old story. You are no longer the wounded, controlled, and broken person of the past. You are stepping into a new chapter, one where you are strong, wise, and living for something greater than yourself. God has turned what the enemy meant to destroy you into a story of victory, and now He wants you to rise up, step into your purpose, and help others do the same. You are not just a survivor. You are called to change the world. Look at everything you've overcome. You didn't break. You didn't let the narcissist destroy you. You found your way out, and now you are stronger than ever. God doesn't just want you to enjoy your freedom. He wants you to use it to rescue others. Are you ready to step into the purpose God has prepared for you? This isn't just healing. This is transformation. You are not just a survivor. You are a warrior with a mission, and God is calling you to rise. You have been through a journey that wasn't easy. You've been manipulated, wounded, broken down, and at times you felt like you couldn't rise again. But look at you now. You're still standing, stronger than ever. You are no longer the person the narcissist tried to control. You are no longer trapped in pain. You have stepped out of the darkness, and now you are walking into a new chapter. A chapter of strength, freedom, and purpose. God didn't just save you so you could survive. He wants you to thrive. He didn't just pull you out of the pit. He is lifting you higher, further, and stronger than you ever imagined. Remember, everything you have been through was not in vain. God is using your pain to shape you into someone powerful, wise, and full of compassion. He is writing a new story for you, not a story of suffering, but a story of victory. So, walk boldly. Do not let your past define you. You are no longer a victim. You are chosen by God to step into a life of wholeness, grace, and peace. And if you know someone still trapped in the darkness, remember this. You might be the light they've been searching for. Your story could be someone else's breakthrough. Are you ready to step into your new future? Trust in God's plan, stand firm in faith, and embrace the incredible things He has prepared for you. Thank you for watching. If this video spoke to your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more empowering content like this. Remember, God didn't just rescue you, He made you a warrior. See you in the next video.